Shit. Ninja? Ninja! Ninja!
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for an hour. So if I think it's working, I'm going to go over here. Why do I always have to click this extra thing? Disable fire. No, I gotta have this thing quit bugging me every time I open it. Boom. And let's see. Now we can see what's on the screen. And if I do this, it can be seen a little bit more. All right, so we're looking at the descriptions of the video, and like I say, I think everybody can hear me. Let me know. This is our Daily Gun Show. Come be live every weeknight at midnight, and we talk about guns. And as it says up here, episode 1264. So we've been online longer than any other show's ever been online, and we've been talking about guns longer than anyone has ever talked about guns before. So because of that, we are evolving the conversation, and you can be part of that when we drop the link over here, like we're going to do right now. This is the link, so that unlike some of the scripted shows that hide behind programming, we dropped a link because this is a conversation. This isn't some thing that you look at and sit in some kind of easy chair and have some sort of barbecue ribs delivered. And then, I don't know, what would you drink with barbecue ribs? Lemonade? I don't know what people drink with ribs. But anyway, it's not that kind of show, so we don't even think about that. Instead, we drop a link out there, and you'll be able to be part of the show and evolve the conversation about guns beyond the, 5? Not only is it 21/21 of January, but it is also the 21st hour for some people. You're welcome. So that's how we do it here. We got some videos that if you're 2A, you watch these already, so you already know what I'm talking about. Let's see. So we've got the Fireside chat. That's this dude named John Crump who makes videos and is the director of Gun Owners America for the state of Virginia. And he had a guy on today called Mann, which was pretty freaking awesome. Some kind of a SEAL, so he's some kind of a Navy guy. Goes around swimming for a living. And then he races 500-mile endurance races that sound pretty awesome. Sort of like the triathlons would be like a warm-up snack for what they're talking about doing. Anyway, that was just a part of what this guy's done, and he had all kinds of interesting topics and strategies for success, and really interesting to listen to that guy. Let's see, that was on Crump's show. It was episode 167. I can't even remember what it's like to be on episode 167. So, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even know, because you're not even on show 167 yet. So I've been 1,000 past 167, but it's nice to see that he's trying. I like to see shows that get over 100 video or after over 100. Am I a liberal gun owner? We're going to go back to that one because we have a legal contract in effect. And then the Daily Bullet. Oh, okay. So the Second Amendment Foundation does this show every day. Pretty much, well, Tuesday through Thursday they do a show, and they record it, and then they play the show Tuesday through Thursday. And it's usually about 15 minutes. We got 18 minutes out of them today, so I don't know why. And maybe because Dan was on also. But we got to listen to the story of Gun Freedom Radio and their advocacy So that was pretty good. And it says part 1, even though they didn't say nothing in the show about it. I'm going to assume that there's a part 2 coming up. Let's see. We also have Trench Work, which is Devin, and that's interesting. Can't agree with everything, but he's a little kid, so I'm never going to agree with what these kids come up with. Let's see. But it's also interesting to hear somebody doing their getting the opinions out and getting an angle on it, I guess, from a different perspective is awesome. Let's see. So then we got the assault weapons ban. What the hell was that? Oh, that's Yankee. So Yankee did a video, and then I was on Yankee's show earlier today. So yeah. So instead of those, we have to read a script on Yankee's show, and we have to get like all kinds of production ahead of time. We have to make sure our lawyers approve everything. But unlike that, this show has a link out there, and like I say, this isn't trying to prove nothing. This ain't a show. This is a conversation about guns. It's the Daily Gun Show. So obviously it's not a show. It's a gun conversation. Duh. So either jump in or not. I don't really care. I can do other things. I was actually bought a piece of metal shelving today that I've been putting things on. So I'm having the satisfaction of putting things on a brand new piece of metal shelving. And I had to stop all that to start this show up. So here's what I did. I started the show up. I dropped the link to the show in the place where you can just click on it and be part of this whole thing. Or you can make this the shortest show ever. I think the shortest show ever is about 9 minutes. I like to wait about, here's how I'm going to do it. It's going to be 9 minutes or 11 people. So if that gets to 9 minutes or if that gets to 11 people, the show's over. If nobody jumps in here. Or if something comes up over here. But whatever. I guess we'll go over finish up the obligation to Walt, who actually does stuff. And let's see, we'll click on that link. Is he a liberal gun owner? So I don't know how many people out there watch that video or not. We'll find out. Why is this thing not clicked? So there's another. Why is that thing not clicked? That's interesting. All right. So basically, he posited. Is that how you do it? I don't know how to word what the word is, but basically he put this little caveat maybe in there that you got to give him a response if you listen at 21 seconds into the video. I don't think that's legal, but I left him a response saying that he had to listen to my video for my response, and I don't feel like giving my response until I look at some of these other responses. So there you go. That's how I get more video time out of that little situation back and forth. So this was a 6-minute video, Walt talking about his position, and I think he's asking everybody if that makes him a liberal or not. So that's what we're going to go look at. And this is sorted by newest first. So the most recent one up here. Oh, he pinned this one. So I guess I could sort it, but it's still going to put his pinned one at the top. All right, I'm already yawning. I don't drink coffee anymore, so I got no interest in staying up if nobody wants to chat. So this will be a short one, I guess. Let's see. You're more liberal. This is some guy named Jeremy. You're more liberal than many gun folk, but not really full-blown modern liberal in every sense. Where do you stand on racial identity politics? Do you believe in quota hiring to redress racial injustice? What media sources do you most agree with or find to be most accurate? Do you believe in judging cultural, historic figures by today's standards or in the context of their times? Simple binary classifications like liberal or conservative are not adequate to describe complex, nuanced thinkers. A liberal doesn't have an and in front of a vowel, but whatever. I'm a obvious liberal to my conservative right-wing peers. To my liberal progressive peers, I'm a chauvinist bigot and extremist on self-defense issues. Then you put a 0 in here. I'm most offended by not having an and instead of an a over here. I don't really care at all. So there we go. There's Jeremy's. Then we got RB 2 minutes ago. Pretty well a liberal. Oh, really? So I think that he's calling Walt a liberal. Pretty well a liberal. Disagree on abortion. Yes, women have the right to their bodies, but they don't have a right to kill a child. It's not 100% their DNA. It's not really a part of them as such. And for the most part, it's usually actions on the mother and father's part that lead to the child existing in the first place. So killing it seems immoral. Use proper protection and take precautions. Let's just read this whole thing. Take proper and blah, blah, blah. Pregnancy, he's talking about abortion 100%. So he did talk about abortion in this thing. Like, if this video is 6 minutes long, he said abortion like in here, like for a minute. So that guy's taking him up on that. Then you got Woods. We've heard of Woods before. Whenever he's not baconed out, he'll join this chat. I think you're just a guy. We are all a blend of left, right, ideology. I'm also a left of center as well, but the labels in general are less than helpful. I'm pro you be you, boo-boo. I agree my constitution rights are absolute and inherent. Government works better if it's smaller. So liberal gun owner, yes, you and me both. That's interesting. This is where I got him with my legal expertise. I did listen past 21 seconds, so legally this counts as my comment. But by reading this far into this comment, you agree to listen to my show, to listen to my answer. And now I'm actually reading his whole comment so that I could just said, I'm winning. What did he say in here? He had some kind of remark. Seems legit. I'll do it while he's doing his homework. So if his mom lets him, he's going to listen while he's listening, or he's going to listen to the show while he's doing his homework. But your homework's more important, so study. Let's see. You are definitely, this is Phil telling Walt, you are definitely left-leaning in the current American spectrum. Essentially, every opinion you put forth was left-leaning or just firmly left. I'd so overall, since nothing is ever easy to simply fit into a specific criteria, you are closer to a modern liberal than anything else. Many gun owners are finding that their personal values and beliefs actually lean left, while simultaneously realizing that being left doesn't give you a mandatory gun rights opinion. The left center isn't trying to take anyone's guns. The idea of taking guns came from a few radical people, which was taken and amplified by the right to scare to a centrist to their side. I have to say, Walt, watching the growth of your opinions and by extension the growth of you as a person has really been humbling and inspiring. You have a mindset and temperament that deserves to be shared with others. You two get a room, come on. Whatever. I guess I agree. Left, but not lib. Mm-hmm. So that was somebody without a fake name over there. Ray says, so you're socially libertarian, fiscally left of center. You're close enough to the center that you said you're a centrist gun owner. I wouldn't argue with you, but you could easily call yourself a liberal gun owner. Yeah, I'm just bored. I'm not bored. I'm just tired because I don't drink coffee anymore. I like your views. My economic ideals and views on social programs are further left, but we agree that an individual's rights come first. I don't think I said that right. Come first and foremost. So next we get some guy named David saying center. I did like that opinion on bailing out the people versus huge corporations. Never even thought of that as an option. Oh yeah, that's interesting. See, I don't even know. Every time I read a comment on my channel, I figure it's some kid about the age of like what my little brothers would be, right? Some sort of doofus. And then especially when they're saying some stupid shit, I figure it's just some doofus. But this might be some youngins, right? Some little kids that don't know nothing yet. So it's interesting that people are reading. I always assume that people that are reading stuff are maybe my age, maybe older, maybe younger. I never think about them being inexperienced. I would say this is Goodwin. Was that a real name? I would say from following your other videos also that you're somewhere between center, right, moderate, conservative. Interesting. So what's most important, though, is that you're open-minded and willing to at least understand both sides of the argument, which is more than many gun influencers are. Interesting. I'm yawning because I'm going to fall asleep because nobody's jumping in here and nobody's even saying anything over here. Everything you said was reasonable. That's not even an answer. I feel like that guy still owes Walt an answer. Maybe a classic liberal, not leftist. I agree with you on most of your content. Total communist. Seriously though, from this video and other discussions I have with you, I would generally consider you a classical liberal, but in a more serious sense, not in the absurd David Rubin sense. I don't know what that is. That said, being a classical liberal today is certainly a more conservative than ever. After all, liberalism largely won a long time ago. I don't know what all that means. This is some guy named Bob. Liberal does not equal left. The politics compass test has 4 quadrants and 2 axes. Left and right are not nearly as important as whether you're up authoritarianism or you're down with what they say often as libertarianism. But what they mean is commonly called classic British liberalism today. There is a liberal left and a liberal right, but you would never know that if you listed the narratives of the news media, most academic, public intellectuals, and of course activists. So as a liberal, I can be a liberal conservative, and then I want to conserve the Constitution and inherent natural rights it codifies, and at the same time be a liberal progressive, and then I want to progress those rights to all who are not equally granted them. And if a new right is identified, then it becomes part of the list of inherent natural rights. I've never heard of that before. What the hell new right is identified? Oh, is that weird shit I'm not paying attention to, I guess? In other words, if you don't bind yourself to the idiotic narratives of modern media and so-called academia, you can in fact be a conservative and progressive at the same time, and those are not contradictory positions. So yeah, I'm a liberal gun owner and a 2A absolutist because that is in fact the liberal position. That's some guy named Bob. See, I don't know how old that guy is. So you think that's a kid or is that somebody old? I don't know. That sounds like, I don't know. So next one is Abu Garcia. This guy makes some pretty decent fishing reels. Wait till I invite you to my wedding, even if offer a after party with MG in Arizona. Is that like a machine gun party in Arizona? You should hook it up so that you go to Big Sandy, and that would be the best bachelor party I can imagine, and or wedding. If you got a good chick, that could be an awesome wedding. Walt says, may make it worth it. Oh, I think it was because he doesn't like weddings. Walt is anti-wedding also. It'll be my wedding, the after party for everyone, and then the after party for a smaller group. I understand that. Let's see. Listening incognito behind enemy lines at work, popping in and out. Great point so far. Thanks for this info. Yeah, this is all stealing off of Walt. Walt's over there doing all the work. I'm just sitting over here horking off of him. This isn't quite quarking because he's not live. This is just horking. I don't have a problem with horking. This is ethical horking because of his shenanigans making some kind of illegal disclaimer in his video. I feel like I have the right to hork off of him now. But also, this is interesting. Like, say, I can't tell if I'm assuming these are all young kids. These kids are probably all in high school, have some kind of after-school job or whatever, and talking about being, I don't know, liberal gun owners, I guess. Left gun owners gives us some insight. Where do we go? That was Abu Garcia. Then we get to Vagabond. Vegan Bond, I guess. Left-leaning in American politics, Walt is left-leaning in American politics, in part that because the right has gone so far that leaning left is easy for most reasonable people with critical thinking skills. I think I get what that guy's saying. It's just hard to read it sometimes and say it out loud. Nick says 2 hours ago, I think you are center to center left libertarian or liberal in the modern sense of the word. I think in a big way I would identify where you stand would be your stances. I would identify where you stand would be your stances on compelled speech. Oh, interesting. Mandatory use of gender pronouns and hate speech. I have a few questions if you don't mind answering. Uh-oh. What is your stance on compelled speech, like what I listed above? I never even heard of compelled speech, so that's interesting. What's your favorite philosopher's text to read? Uh-oh, that's going to be a long one. What is your favorite philosophical debate? Whatever. How do you feel about the blah, 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 PPP loans that's given to businesses intended to be paid to employees? Thoughts on internet censorship? Is there a middle ground where these large tech companies can be considered private corporations to do what they want while still protecting free speech of their users? Interesting. Protecting free speech of their users. If not, what side do you take and how do you justify it? Holy crap. That's like a weird, another realm version of a ghost question. And his name is Miller. What's up with that? So that's like 8 questions that are all relevant. And how is Walt going to answer this one? Is this going to be like, go F off? Or is it going to be like a long ass question response? Oh, he was pretty short. I figured asking him about philosophy was going to be like a freaking book over here. Government should not compel speech from any private citizen, and I see that as protected by the First Amendment. And then he says, "Oh, that's tough. I mostly read modern papers. I recommend somebody who I can't say." And then, as far as classics, metaphorically, not referring to the classical era, I like some other guy for metaphysics and morals, and that's probably the most defining piece of philosophy I've. Oh crap! It does go on. Read. My favorite debate is probably John Lennon versus Richard Dawkins. I have a soft spot for apologetics, and that's where I got started with philosophy. I have no idea who those people are. Something about loans is definitely, I don't think I'm allowed to say that legally. Loans are definitely an example of a rushed welfare program that, in my opinion, was not intelligently managed or designed well. See that right there? Gotta remember to say stuff like that. Boom, boom, boom. So this isn't scripted. Sure, I'm reading stuff that somebody else wrote, whatever, but I'm stealing it. So it's not like it's a script. This link here, which is highlighted on the screen, and I would pin it if I know how Gizzard does that, that is so that y'all can jump in here and be part of a show. Otherwise, it's just going to end when I'm done reading this insight into liberalism. All right, and then Walt goes on, of course, because this guy asked him about philosophy. So he goes, and he's supposed to be doing his homework. We already know that, right? But where is he doing? He's over here typing on the internet. He should be doing his homework. Internet censorship is complicated. I think Facebook claiming to be unable to control published content on their platform in court while telling users they will control content is an issue. As a consumer, I don't want Trump supporters off of those platforms. I see a huge need to engage with them. But I can't ignore the owners of Facebook having a right to use their platforms as they see fit. I don't know what an ethical outcome would look like here that Facebook doesn't consent to. However, their monopoly is a big part of the issue. Sorry for the non-answer here. I'm not sure what solution looks like yet. All right. Then we get somebody. Oh, they're fancy. Their name is redacted, so it looks like they're actually redacted. Or Walt doesn't want their name listed. Let's just assume that Walt did this. Leftist nearing the middle of lib. Yes, I got off R something. That's some code for being on the internet, or I don't know what that means. Then we got some Andrew. We've heard of this guy before. Farther left than I, but I am far right. Good points and respect your thoughts. Right on. DJ, remember this guy? He used to be on the show once in a while. Nowhere near Bonzo Loco, Walt. I hope that the spirit of democracy flourishes rather than falters. Deep wounds need time to heal. The fester is last semester. I'll be forging ahead with a more than general acceptance of others and divergent views. Embracing things conceptually is not so dangerous. Not every slope is a slippery descent. The abyss can frig off. Time to bail out or fail out. Resignation should be out of the question. Oh man, he's DJing me. I'm not going to keep reading it. Then we got 8mm Mauser. I would define you as a left-leaning. I don't agree with you about most things, and I don't really care. Loving those around you is more important than any political issue. I think he means like in real life, right? What in the hell was it showing me over there? I recently have been screwing with YouTube again, and it's showing me weird shit over there on the side. So I apologize for any weird shit that it was showing you over on the side there. All right, so now I guess I have to answer this because nobody's jumping in here. We got to end the show. So I think like my answer would be something like, when are we gonna stop labeling it, right? So I'm not gonna answer it. I'm gonna answer it with a question. So at some point there's not going to be liberal and conservative, right? They're going to come up with some other names, and there's going to be other things. So there's not going to be Democrats or Republicans, or at least they won't be described or defined the same way. So I don't know. That's my thing, is why do you have to put yourself on that spectrum? Is that playing into their game, right? So that then they can put you in a corner, they can put you in a place where you can get attacked from different angles. What if you stay above it or just not go into that realm? And I don't know if that's an answer or not, because nobody's in here and nobody's saying nothing. So that's what happens. This show would be the best show ever. It is still the best show, but it would be even better if people would jump in and be part of it. Nobody is, so it's going to end. If anybody's saying anything good out here, we'll click on it. I'm here by law, playing back the stream. Right on. Is it over already? I didn't think it was over already. So that we've completed the legal transaction. Gizzards is out there. He does a show. He has people show up to his show, though. Kingpin, I was saddened by the plight of your people. I've seen that Kingpin had a video, and I didn't include it because it's something with him and Barbecue, and obviously Barbecue's not 2A anymore. He's not even showing up for this show anymore. But I didn't watch that whole video yet. I watched it, but I wasn't listening to it, so I have to go back and listen to it. And I do that on my phone when I'm not listening to shit. It'll show me stuff on my phone. I don't know if your YouTube will do that on your phone. Otherwise, I don't think anybody's saying anything. Nobody's jumping in here. Bob is out there, who is half owner of this show. That means he owns half of the bills to this show. And that's why he has to be on the run, and I also have to be on the run. So I guess that's the end of the show. It would normally be longer, and it would be awesome with all kinds of intrigue and political debate and solutions. There's a lot of solutions, a lot of problem solving, a lot of healing. That kind of stuff takes place. It only takes place when people are part of it, and I keep dropping links and nobody shows up. So there's no excuse. Nobody wanted to help heal. Nobody has any compassion tonight. So I guess we're going to have to end the show because nobody wants to be part of the evolution of the gun chat. Maybe we'll be back, or maybe this is the last one. Maybe this is the kind of thing that's going to make me go, maybe I should rethink this. Maybe just because this is episode 1200 something, maybe this is the last one. We'll never know. Most people won't, because they won't show up. All right, I'm going to go mope. Looking at my new shelf.